Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos every other day exposing the truth. In today's Truth Talk podcast episode, I'm joined by D.
Hi everybody, I hope you guys are having a great day.
Today we will be talking about former power actor Rotimi exposing the evil side of Hollywood. Let's get right into it. I have said this many times. Hollywood isn't what it seems. While from the outside looking in, it seems like this great industry full of endless opportunities and success. We rarely hear about what these stars have to do for that success. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people in our world who are willing to do anything to make it as a star in Hollywood. This is something that the shot callers in Hollywood take full advantage of, forcing upcoming talent to basically sell their souls to get an opportunity. This is why there's so many lost souls running around Hollywood. People who sold out for fame and success thinking it was going to be worth it, only to find out the fame, money, and success can't fill an empty person who lost their soul. Many of these famous celebrities everyone loves so much had to do unimaginable things to get to that level. They had to do things that most people wouldn't be proud of. Yet, they do it and continue to do it for their desire for money and success. They don't care that it leads them to a place of spiritual destruction. While celebrities often talk about the great career they built, they don't talk about the deal with the devil that got them there. How they had to give themselves to those who run the industry. Allow these people to reshape them and turn them into their puppets, forcing them to not only abandon their morality and dignity, but to serve a whole other god that operates in wickedness. Believe it or not, your favorite celebrity has participated in demonic rituals and has involved themselves in witchcraft. That is the way they made it to the top. You think I'm making this up? Think again. As power actor Rotimi literally just exposed this very thing in an interview. Those of you who saw the TV show Power know exactly who Rotimi is. Rotimi is mostly famous for playing Darius in 50 Cent's hit TV show Power. Rotimi was deep in Hollywood and saw the ins and outs of the industry for himself, just like his wife, who was also an upcoming artist and actress. Recently, Rotimi did an interview where he talks about his wife Vanessa Madid's career and why she took a step back from Hollywood after achieving success. According to Rotimi, his wife got to a point in the industry where she was approached by the handlers of the industry who prep upcoming stars to get them to the next level. He claims that these handlers approached Vanessa and tried to convince her to involve herself in the world of the occult and witchcraft. In Rotimi's own words, he said his wife refused to sacrifice herself in witchcraft, meaning she refused to sell her soul, claiming that his wife was approached to sell her soul to rise to the next level. When the interviewer asks if this is a real thing in Hollywood, Rotimi responds confidently that it definitely is a real thing, claiming that the top executives told her that this is the things she would need to push to make it to the next level. Rotimi even claims that learning this is what made him get closer to God, finding God by seeing the ways of the devil.
When you're powerful and more powerful than certain men, it can kind of make it be like, if you don't go with anything that they say, she's this, she's that, she's that, she's da-da-da-da-da. So, and she didn't sacrifice herself, with witchcraft, right? And for real, like, right. You know, she's been approached to elevate to the next level.
Oh, that's a real thing.
Oh, that's a real thing, bro. That's a real, like, witchcraft, voodoo, juju, all of that is a real thing.
To get to the next level in career.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yes. Wow. It's a real thing. So she's been presented opportunities like, hey, this is what we do. This is how we move. This is the things that you have to do to get to this level by top execs. And she was like, I'm not with it. And then also she wasn't going to sleep her way to the top. She's successful. She's doing all these things, and she's to the point where it's like, I'm drunk, man. I got drink to get out my head and just find peace. And that with liquor brought depression. So at that point, she was like, this is not me. I love the music, but I hate the business. And she just was like, I can't do it anymore. So that was how she kind of let it go. But yeah, witchcraft, warlocks and voodoo, juju, black magic, all of that is hyper real. That's what made me even believe more in God.
Right.
You know,
it's so crazy because you get desensitized to it because you'll see like interviews and there's people telling the stories.
But that's what they want you to do, though.
Right.
Yeah, that's the mission. Like the devil, the enemy can't lie to you for real. He got to tell you what it is and you choose to believe it or not. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this person drinks goat blood. Yeah. But I told you that it did. And it's not hiding it. It's just, you just desensitized to it that, no, this is a real thing. You know what I mean? So that's just the ways of the devil.
As you heard for yourself, Rotimi confirms what I've been saying for years on this channel. Hollywood is the home of the devil. You can't make it in the business without compromising yourself for success. There's a reason celebrities look nothing like they did before they got in the industry. These celebrities are appointed handlers who shape these celebrities and turns them into a representation of the evil that runs that industry. People refuse to believe this because they don't want to give up idolizing these celebrities, even when the proof is right in the open. I've been calling this out for years. I've been saying this over and over again, and I've showed countless examples on my channel of all these celebrities that by the time they make it to the top, they're unrecognizable. These executives are known to take advantage of these celebrities that are coming up because they know how bad they want that fame. They know that they're willing to do anything to make it.
And I don't think anybody should be out there compromising their self and their morals just for fame. I know that that might sound crazy because with fame comes money and attention, but what you need to be thinking about is yourself, your self-respect, and having to answer to God at the end of the day for doing these actions.
Yeah, I don't think most people think about that at all. I don't think most people even consider God until they're face to face with the devil, you know? Once they get in that industry, they get the foot in the industry and they're seeing all this success, seeing all this money, and they're being told do this, do that. They do it no problem. And think about this, like most people don't understand how the industry works. Most people don't get it. And on the second channel, I recently did an interview and I tried to expose how the Freemasons run the music industry. And I explained how many of these celebrities, some of them might involve themselves in masonry or in witchcraft before their success, and they use that to get successful. Like if you're a Mason and you join a Masonic lodge, there is literally an entertainment lodge where actors and celebrities go to network with each other and basically help each other make it to the next level. For example, let's say there's a high degree Mason who works in Hollywood who's running a production studio and he's working on a movie, and then someone who wants to be in Hollywood who joins the Masonic lodge ends up going to that entertainment lodge and getting this opportunity to be in that movie just because he's a Mason. So that's how we see a lot of celebrities end up becoming Masons, selling out essentially just for the opportunity to make it to the next level. And the other side of it, some of these celebrities work really hard, make it to a certain point where they're getting a little bit of attention, or at least enough attention to have a career. And the music industry, they see this, they pick up the artists, they sign them, and then they try to introduce them into this world. Like what Rotimi basically said about his wife. His wife was working hard, she's talented, she was doing everything she needed to do to become a successful artist. But then she hit that wall, she hit that point where you can't get past it unless they give you the green light, unless you do what they say and they can use you in the way that they need. Because if they don't have any use for you, they're not going to allow you in their industry. What most people think is that a lot of people say, oh, you can do anything with God, which is 100% true. But the thing is, Hollywood isn't an industry that's owned by God. Hollywood is run by the devil. Hollywood is an industry that its only purpose is to influence and control people. It's not entertainment. Entertainment is how they're able to influence and control you, because nobody listens to things that they're not really interested in. But if you make it entertaining, if you make it fun, if you make it attractive, then people will pay attention. So that's why Hollywood is the perfect tool for the devil, because it has all these qualities. It presents itself like this beautiful, amazing place where anything is possible to lure you in. And then when you're in there, you figure it out and you realize that this is the way to play ball. You got to sell out. And that's what Rotimi basically said about his wife. They wanted his wife to sacrifice herself to make it to the next level. They wanted her to start doing things that she wasn't morally okay with. And we know how that looks like. They were going to have her dressing scandalous, overly sexualizing her, pushing satanic imagery like we see all these pop stars and celebrities doing. That's what they want. That's what they do. And a lot of people don't understand why they do this. This is the reason, because the people that are controlling this industry, that's who they serve. What's crazy is that recently I actually saw an interview that's another perfect example of this. It was regarding a man named Aaron who was on the Zeuz network, and he calls out the head of Zeuz network, Lemmy, claiming that, he is just as bad as the rest of Hollywood, insinuating that he was trying to make him sell out just like the executives were trying to have Rotimi's wife do as well. He goes and calls them out for saying that they worship demonic gods and fallen gods. He brought up Greek mythology, and he also brings up the fact that they changed his name to the Pied Piper. His name was similar to it, but they changed it to the Pied Piper. For those who don't know, the Pied Piper is an old story where essentially this figure would use music to lure children, and these children were never seen again. So he brings that up, and he also brings up the fact that they worship these fallen gods because they changed their name to Zeus Network. He basically states that they give all these celebrities Greek mythology names.
The whole show on Zeus was a humiliation ritual. It was a humiliation ritual. Zeus is in love with Greek mythology. Greek mythology is demonic in a real way. Brodesky, I didn't set up, bruh. What piqued my interest, right? Zeus Network changed my name from Pied Piper to Pipe. No, from Pipe Piper, right? Yeah. They said Pipe.
Yeah, Pipe Piper.
Because you know I'm a licensed plumber. Yeah. They changed it to P-I-E-D Piper, right? So that sparked my interest. I said, what the Pied Piper?
Yeah.
Why they follow me that? Right, so I Googled Pied Piper. The Pied Piper is Greek mythology. The guy that led 130 children to their death. Yeah. And only 3 survived. One was dumb, one was deaf, one was blind. You feel me? And one survived because they went to go get their coat. You feel me? When the Pied Piper was leaving, and they came back and the Pied Piper was gone. So 4 children survived out of 130. So I'm thinking like, what? Why would these people? And after I started investigating the Greek mythology, I noticed that all the contestants on the Zeus Network show had Greek mythology names that trace back to Greek mythology. It's demonic. It was a satanic ritual. You know what I'm saying? When she slapped me, it's called the slap of admittment, right? In a real way. She slapped me. She was marking me for death, bruh. And I don't give a fuck to say it on camera, bruh. They was finna sacrifice me. Mamas, they was finna sacrifice me. But when Erica Mena slapped me, I got up out of there. I called the police on her. I filed a police report on her ass and up they satanic ritual. You know, satanic ritual. You know what I'm saying? Get on TikTokery and look at all the people that's exposing Zeus for the demonic entities that they worship, Brodesky. Millennial plumber, you're a weird ass. You know what I'm saying? Because who the fuck is into some, I don't know, one black man that's into some Greek mythology. How is you allowing demonic entities on your program, bro? Nah, bro, I ain't going for that on mama.
It's interesting when you think about it, because Lemmy himself, he comes from a family of churches. He comes from a religious family. His father is a TV church personality who basically does the opposite of what Lemmy does. He pushes God and all this, while his son is literally pushing the devil onto people, selling this and selling out his own people for money. He exploits his own people to make more money. And here we have Aaron calling him out for it. And it's not just been Aaron. There's been so many people that's on the Zeus Network that come out and call Lemmy out, basically comparing him to the next Diddy. This is why I was considering making a full video on him. If you guys want to see that, comment Zeus Network below, and I'll make sure to get that done. But even Aaron states that they were trying to make him do the same thing that they were trying to make Rotimi's wife do. They were trying to make him compromise himself. They were trying to use him to push this destructive agenda. As you can see, it's all of Hollywood. All the executives that are in the industry, this is what they do. This is literally the point of Hollywood. They want to influence people to be like these people.
You know what's crazy? Remember when you did that video about MIA? She said that Jay-Z was trying to make her compromise herself by also making her do witchcraft, even telling her that she should change the way she looked by getting plastic surgery. And she said she turned it down, and everybody can see how her career suffered. She even said that Jay-Z tried to help her billionaire ex-husband gain custody of their child and get her kicked out of the United States.
Even when I met Jay-Z and I signed to Rock Nation, the first thing he told me to do is get plastic surgery. I'm not insecure because I would have got plastic surgery. So their argument of my insecure, that's why she needs to massage her ego, fails because you turn around and ask those what women do you know who hasn't had plastic surgery around you? All of them have. I'm the only one who didn't, which already proves the fact it's not insecurity. Because if I was insecure, I would have done that 100 times over. Even when I met Jay-Z and I signed to Rock Nation, the first thing he told me to do is get plastic surgery. I had to fight. Of course, if I didn't, I wouldn't have got my foot in the door and fought and kept myself, because I would be doing all this stupid other. And no, I didn't want to drip myself in blood and cover myself and swim in goop, in black goop, and like wear devil horns and sell a record. Or be a witch, or be that, all of them. And that is just facts.
I think all of this right here is a clear example. If you choose not to go with their system, the consequences you're going to end up suffering.
Speaking about that, A perfect example of someone that says yes is Doja Cat. Think about how Doja Cat looked when she came in the industry. Doja Cat, while she was already doing things that most people would laugh at and say it's just embarrassing, like the whole Move video, she still wasn't satanic and demonic and all this stuff that we know her for today. Fast forward a few years in the industry, Doja Cat is fully demonic. She's making videos dressed like demons. She's wearing devil horns, tattooing Baphomet symbols, fully into the occult because she said yes. And what happened when she said yes? Her career catapulted to the very top. She performed in all the big award shows. She had a successful rollout. The record label pushed millions of dollars behind her. You can call this shock value all you want. It's not shock value. It's the price of fame, and it's something that's been going on forever in the music industry. She is the perfect example of saying yes. She said yes, but it's not even Doja Cat anymore. It's whatever they turned her into. It's whatever the industry wants her to be, and that's what people are worshiping. You're not idolizing Doja Cat. You're idolizing the devil by idolizing Doja Cat because that's what she represents. This is how the industry is being utilized. This is how they're able to manipulate us, manipulate our world, and change our world. It's not a coincidence that these people are coming out and telling us this. This is what's actually happening. This is why the world is so dark nowadays, and this is why evil has become good, and good is looked at as evil. People have been manipulated and convinced into thinking that evil is alluring and attractive, when in reality it just leads to the same destructive path, away from God into the grasp of the devil. And once the devil got you, it's hard to get away from him because he manipulates you. He consumes your mind. He fills your mind with greed, money, materialism, all these things that are going to chain you to him. And once he has you chained, it's really hard to be let loose. It's really hard to break those chains and get your way back to God. It's not impossible, but it's really hard. Look at Justin Bieber. We just did a podcast episode about him a few days ago. Look how he's suffering from the life the devil gave him. Not God, the devil. Because the devil wanted to build them up to use him. And once they build you up and they give you everything and they start to use you, the moment that they don't have any use for you, they kick you to the curb and your life starts to fall apart. And then they turn the industry against you. Everybody starts making you the laughing stock of the industry. Everyone starts joking about you, making you look bad because the industry is controlled by the devil. It all moves as one. That's why the whole industry will push the same agenda. That's why the whole industry looks the same way. That's why it doesn't matter if it's hip hop, pop, rap, Latin, trap. It all looks the same. They're all pushing the same satanic imagery, the same satanic agenda. If we look at Rotimi, we can see that his career didn't even make it far because, like he said, he got closer to God instead of getting closer to the devil. He chose the right path instead of being consumed by the evil. And that's the reason his career suffered. I'm not saying you can't have a successful career without the devil. I'm saying that in Hollywood, that is owned by the devil, that is a weapon of the devil, you can't make it in that industry unless you're serving the devil, because to be in Hollywood is to serve the devil.
Even the artist Nori said this himself. Once you reach a certain level in Hollywood, you have two doors to choose from, neither one of them being something that you want to do. It's either choose one of those two doors or go back to being a nobody. And he said himself he wasn't gonna go through those doors, despite the fact he ended up selling out later on, working for Diddy and being on Revolt TV. So that just shows you how much they choose to be in it instead of just leaving it behind and doing their own thing.
Yeah, all these people just choose to sell out because the money and fame is alluring, you know? You want to be famous, you want money, but it's all self-worship at the end of the day. And it's empty, it's just a destructive path. I'm pleased that Rotimi decided to come out and say this because a lot of people want to deny it. A lot of people want to pretend that Hollywood is okay, it's this great industry. But here we have Rotimi basically saying that his wife backed up out of it because she didn't want to lose her soul, the same way he did. The same way there's going to be more celebrities that choose to sell their souls to make it. That's the truth of the industry. This is why it's important that we expose the industry. Because some people usually ask, why do I talk about celebrities? Well, celebrities are the most influential people in the world. You think the politicians are more influential than the celebrities? They're not. That's why they give millions of dollars to these influencers, because they influence the masses. They influence everyday people to be just like what they need them to be. That's the truth of the matter. There is not a greater weapon than Hollywood for the devil. That's why I expose Hollywood. I expose the truth about the industry and how it's affecting us to this very day. But I'm gonna end this video here. I appreciate each and every one of you for stopping by. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Goodbye, everybody. I hope you guys have a great day.